Hey, it's Chris. Yes, I'm doing another video on my phone. Internet still not hooked up to my computer. I'm doing 2 videos this week. I'm doing this one, and then tomorrow I'm doing my 8-week update. Obviously there's been a couple more changes, so I look forward to talking about that. But today, I'm doing some review stuff. I'm reviewing a packer, and then 2 prosthetics. So I guess I'll just get into it. Before I do, as all the other YouTubers say, even though I'm not a YouTuber, there will be phallic things on the screen. So if you're not into that, click away. It is for education purposes. So throwing that out there as well. I don't know why the color is the way it is, but my Skyrim tattoo looks really freaking vibrant and fantastic. It's great. Also ignore Luca. So the first thing I have is just like a basic packer. It is clean, but it's been in a drawer collecting dust and stuff. Haven't really had time to like really clean it off, but it is clean. It's just collected dust. So it's just a basic little packer. I believe the company is Lovetoy. And it's since collected some more stuff laying where I put it because my partner likes to go airsofting. So it's got dirt and stuff on it now. So hopefully it's not super visible, but I will be kind of bringing it up to the camera. I'm not really sure what it's made of. It is squishy, and it has gotten some colors on it. So these, it's kind of large. I think it's 4.5 or 5 inches. I like to pack a little bit bigger because I like to see a bulge in my pants. Of course, that's just what I prefer. Subjective. It is kind of sticky, so I suggest probably using cornstarch if you're gonna get this one. Like I said, it does have some color. You can tell it's blue down here, and then it's like purple up here. It's just a basic packer, so nobody's really gonna see it anyway. But you can pack it like this, or you pack it up. I prefer to pack it up because, again, I just like to see a big bulge in my pants. That's just how I am. And it does have veins and stuff on it. Like, it's actually pretty detailed. You kind of see it. Details. It's got a nice little detailed head. This has some textures on it too. I've only used it a couple times because I prefer an STP. Just because I don't really like sitting. Gives me dysphoria. It's a weird thing to give you dysphoria, but everyone has dysphoria about different things, and I have dysphoria about peeing. So, it did create a decent bulge in my pants. I will give it that. Like I said, it is really squishy. The only thing is I had it in a drawer with some other things, and it did start kind of melting. Not a huge con for me. I use it sometimes, but the fact that it's kind of melty isn't really the biggest issue for me, as long as I can have a bulge in my pants. What is the main theme here? I like to have a big bulge in my pants. Because I like to think if I was a guy, I'd have a big dick. Because I have big dick energy. So, I mean, like, it's a decent size. It's not too thick. It's not, you know, it's squishy. I feel like it would pass the grab test. But it is sticky. So that's why it has all this stuff on it, because it's really sticky. That's really all I have to say about that. I got this from a local store. I think I got it for like $30. And you can tell that it has different color variation. Like up here it's light, and then it comes to like darker down here. So it does kind of look a little bit more natural. On to my favorites. I'm going to start with the small one and then go up to the bigger one just because the smaller one is closer. Again, they are clean dog hair. So this one is probably my favorite. It is the Freetom Rogue, and it is 5.5 inches. It's a little bit more firmer than the other one, actually. But I like this one because it has multiple uses. I can pack with it. I can pee with it. I can do other things with it. Myself, or, you know, if I decided to use it with a partner, I could do that too. They come with rods that you can stick in it and make it hard so you can do stuff. They're both unpainted, which means they don't have a paint upgrade because I'm cheap. Paint upgrade would be upwards of like $300 for the whole thing. And since I'm not too concerned about it right now, seeing as I don't publicly use a men's restroom because I don't pass, I'm not too worried about it. Now when I do start to pass and start using the men's restroom, I might actually go ahead and buy one with the paint upgrade, just so I can kind of avert any issue. But I like this one. It's my newest one. I love it. Like, the details in it they're decent. It's not anywhere near the details of my natural, which I'll be showing next. But it's okay. It's like, you know, and I'm thinking that whoever the mold came from had a piercing, because right here you can see it kind of has like little holes. So I'm assuming that there were piercings there, and that's why it looks like that. But it's not a big issue for me because it's on the bottom, so I don't really see it. And this one is a cut version. They do use real people to mold these out of, so this guy was cut, I guess. And then on the inside it has this slide. Oh no, it's falling apart. It's falling apart. Ah. But it has this little slide thing here that rubs up against me. If I were to be using it for myself or with somebody else, that part just rubs against me. 10 out of 10, by the way. If you do, just use lube. Lube's a friend. You have to have it. Don't need cornstarch for this. For packing with this, because I've made a couple pairs of packing underwear. I've made it out of jock straps, boxer briefs. I did make one out of women's briefs. I don't want to talk about that. I mean, I got it because it had like a thick waistband and it was comfortable material. And it did work for the most part, but I had like the main hole for this to go through, and then I put like a slit up above it so I could pack up, and unfortunately it kept slipping out, so I have to think about a new design. I think I've already come up with one. I'll just have to put it in the works because I have more pairs of underwear to work with, to kind of figure out how I'll be able to pack up comfortably and be able to use it to pee at the same time, because trying to like pull it out and I gotta put it back in, so I want it to be like easy to use. And now my very first freetom. I've had this for over a year now. It is my all natural 6.5 inch. Again, it has the pleasure slide in it. Except the reason I love it so very much, it is uncut. I just really, really like it like that. I feel like if I was born a guy and my parents did that to me, I would hate them for my life. Because I like the idea of it. That's why I'm contemplating surgery, because I know if I get surgery, that automatically means that I no longer have that extra skin. And that's something that I really want. So if they can figure out a phalloplasty that, you know, makes it look uncut, then I'll be all for it. With other things also, like sensations and everything. I just don't really feel like I would want an uncut looking dick. I just don't. So that's why this one is my favorite. The details in the balls are ridiculous. Like, it's different than any others that I've had. And of course the only one that I've had is the Rogue, and then just Packers. It does have an interesting texture to it, which I really like. It's not too hard. I used to pack down and under because it was so large that I just didn't know what to do. But then I started packing up, and oh, let me tell you, big old bulge too. The girth for both of them is 5 inches, or 5.5 inches. So it's like 2.25 inch, like, wide. So like that's a lot. That's a lot of dick. And you know, 6.5, it's pretty big. 5.5 isn't. I mean, they look different. don't have that much. Another thing with this is, like, I don't know if you can tell, it has like a curve, which I think is a really cool detail because my natural doesn't have that. So, as I said, they're both pretty much the same thing. So for looks, for the Rogue, I'm gonna give it like an 8. Just because I did have my natural first, and I understand that bodies are different, so everything's gonna look different. But just like the texture of the balls, and just like the fact that it's uncut, makes everything kind of just go down a little bit. So I do give this one an 8. I do like the idea that it has a curve. I like the firmness of it. It does look realistic. And it's not very hard to get used to peeing with. Of course, I don't recommend going out in public the first time, because even though I've been using the freetom brand for over a year, I still have leaks sometimes. For this, I'm going to give it a 10. Straight up 10. Because the balls, the fact that it's uncut, just how perfect it looks, how comfortable it is. It's not too hard. Like, the silicone is different. The balls on this one are pretty rigid. Like, they're pretty solid, and these ones are squishy. The silicone isn't as, it's not as tough, I guess you could say. For functionality, packing, they both work great. Even though the Rogue is a little bit more dense, it does a really good job packing. I do have to make sure that if I wear it up, I have to have it secured some way, or it looks like I have a boner. With the natural, it's not as bad because, as I said, it's not as like, the silicone is softer, so I don't really need a lot to kind of keep it where it needs to be. Peeing, both of them, I would give it 8.5 to 9, just because there is a learning curve. But after I figured it out, it was all good. I do still have accidents sometimes, like I can't go too fast. So unfortunate. Usually, like, when I wake up in the morning, I'm unable to use it because I have to go really bad. So having to start and stop and start and stop and start and stop, it bothers me because I really have to go. Other than that, once you get used to it, it's perfect. On this one, the hole is a little bit stretched out. I did rip it, so the stream kind of goes wherever it wants to sometimes. This one, not so much. It's pretty contained. I am working on trying to find tubing to put in there so it comes out smooth and everything, because that's an issue that I'm having. So I'm working on fixing that. The first P, which is pleasure, which is, using it for myself, 10 out of 10. They work great. They help with the dysphoria. It's honestly like having it of my own. Only thing is I can't actually feel it. It's just the pleasure slide that goes up against me. But 10 out of 10. It works every time. Like with the whole dysphoria, and it just helps a lot. And then play, which is with somebody else. I would give it a 5, just because I haven't figured it out yet. And I haven't really had a chance to use it with somebody, so I feel like if I had the chance, it would be like better. But just like the 1 or 2 experiences that I did have, just didn't really work out for me very well. It did, but it didn't. So that's why it's a 5. But yeah. So all of my weenies. I recommend Freetom to everybody, every single person. They have a clearance section all the time. You can get painted versions and all the other kind of stuff. The only thing is with the clearance is that they all have some sort of defect. I had a Rogue before this, and the defect was that it was too firm. And honestly, like, this one feels about the same. But I don't know if it's a different kind of silicone or not. It's a lot less firm than the other one was. The other one got eaten. Not by my dog. So definitely recommend Freetom. I know there's a bunch of other packers and stuff out there. I just wanted to do a little review on the ones that I had. I also have one from Cal Exotics. I don't know where that one went. I don't ever use it. It ripped within the first week of me having it. So I don't use it ever. Plus, it was way too dark for my skin tone. And that's about all that I have for this specific video. I'll get into the changes tomorrow for my video tomorrow. Because there have been a couple changes. So that's exciting. Alright. I guess I will see y'all tomorrow.